Who do you think trouble you the most? BTechs, PhDs or the master students?
Students. Any emergency, call 911 was written. So I called 911. So within 2 minutes there was police. And that was the most fondest memory I had the first day of landing in Boston. The funniest thing is I was standing in one place where I know that people are going to jump out of the window. Okay. So 4 of them jumped out of the window of one room. Okay. One chimney, ground floor, 4 people jumped out of the window because they were isolated and I was standing there. And then they immediately jumped inside as well. So TEDx is again something very special to me because I think I was the first faculty advisor in 2017 or 16, I don't remember exactly. So I was pushing TEDx every year. Our work for last 10 years at IIT Gandhinagar, we were able to make a molecule. We have been able to have really good collaborations. So that's why we got this US patent.
Hola Janta, I'm Somesh and with me is Zainab. We welcome you to yet another fun episode of TEDxIIT Gandhinagar podcast in association with MAPRC. We have with us today Dean of Student Affairs. Dean of Student Affairs. Today we have with us a person who is a true example of jack of all trades, Professor Sivapriya Kirubakaran, who is also Kankuben Bakshirambhai Gelot Chair Associate Professor in the Department of Chemistry and Bioengineering.
She is an acclaimed researcher with a recent US patent in cancer research. She is also a recipient of the Alumni Excellence Award from the Ethiraj College for Women, from where she completed her bachelors. First of all, a very hearty congratulations to you, ma'am, on being awarded the Alumni Excellence Award. It's truly an inspiration for everyone out there. Starting off, receiving an Alumni Excellence Award from your alma mater must feel special. Could you say how does it feel?
First of all, thank you TEDx team and thank you both of you. I'm the Dawn, so I will start with the Somesh question. So actually I have become more independent when I was started doing my UG program. Okay, so because this college is the college for women and it's one of the most prestigious and also very famous college, and extremely strict. And chemistry department is something that actually known for its strictness because of the teachers who are there. But I think that's a place I've learned to be very, very independent. Though there was not much of freedom. Okay, so I graduated from that college with a lot of confidence. So I'm very, very grateful to the college that they have given me this alumni award because this is my first alumni award, not from school, not from the other places. So it feels very, very special, and many of my teachers actually came last week when I was given this award, so I felt very special.
Must have been a very special feeling, ma'am. Continue on the same lines, like many dream to be a part of prestigious institutes like MIT or Harvard, and you yourself have worked both at MIT and Harvard Medical School for more than 5 years. Can you share some of your fond memories working at those places?
So definitely Harvard Medical School is the only place I wanted to go after my PhD. Like when I was studying in Ethiraj, the only place I wanted to go was Madras University for Master of Chemistry, but specialization was there only in organic chemistry. So I went to Madras University first to do masters. There I decided, somebody told me, so every turn of my life there was 1 or 2 people who will come and then straighten me up to go to a right place. That's what happened to me, and I'm very grateful to all these people in my life, either be teachers, friends, family, everybody together. So it's a whole universe comes at one mode of my life and then tell me, so you should go there. So similarly, when I was studying in masters, there was a Professor K.S. Vishwanathan, whom I met for my summer internship. So that's why I encourage many students to go for summer internship, where I have heard only 2 names. One was Indian Institute of Science. So he told me that time that if somebody wants to do PhD in chemistry, Indian Institute of Science is the best institute. Okay, so that's what I heard first, Indian Institute of Science. And then I went to Indian Institute of Science, where I heard only one name, that was Harvard.
Oh.
Okay, so it's happened that my PhD supervisor, Professor Chandrasekharan, is from Harvard. Okay, so first day itself I was so super impressed by his credentials, because he worked with the Nobel laureate called Professor E.J. Corey. who is also known for being extremely strict chemist. So that fascinated me that I should go to Harvard. That's it. I didn't even think anything about it. So, but I landed in Harvard. I think my first day was very hilarious because within 2 hours I called 911. Because it was just a very, very raw winter. So first time I crossed Atlantic Ocean, I went there. So obviously I didn't get sleep in the night, and there was this, because it's winter starting, they switched on radiator in the faculty guest house of Harvard, and the radiator made a lot of noise. So I didn't know why this noise was coming. I was very sure that somebody is hitting my door. I didn't know what to do, and first time I think I also missed home, and I was feeling really, really upset and definitely scared. So I was not the Dawn that time. So I was just one small girl landed from India in Boston. So and then I searched what to do, and then I saw any emergency call 911 was written. So I called 911. So within 2 minutes there was police. So, and that was the most fondest memory I had the first day of landing in Boston. But the third day I had another fond memory, which was a big snowstorm. So there was a huge snowstorm, and my friend said, okay, don't worry, I will drop you in the guest house wherever you are. So we worked in the lab till 6 o'clock, and then he said that, the snow is not going to stop, so let's walk. It's just a mile away. Then we said, okay, we'll walk. So while walking, I felt something really weird. Okay, so I said that, where are we walking? He said, it's the biggest cemetery. So we're walking through a cemetery. Okay, and it's snow. You have seen all your old movies.
Yes.
Adam's Family movies.
Yes.
Okay, or whatnot, right? Everything will come to your mind that, okay, you are done. Okay. So I can't forget those 2 days of the first few days of Boston was like this. After that, it was extremely fantastic. I was very fortunate to have great professors, and I have made a big family in Boston with a lot of friends. So yeah, it's great.
That's really exciting, ma'am. It is a known fact that still there's no reliable cure for cancer, and the death toll of COVID is less than cancer. So going on that thread, where do we stand as a community in terms of research in cancer?
So our research is always at par with all other global institutions. The only where we were lagging is we are not taking this research which is happening in the academic area, okay, into a translational place. So we are proving a lot of things. We have probably have much more data than any other place in the world. But those data is not completely shared. Sometimes it's the hospitals, so the clinicians, academicians, and also the pharmaceutical company, all of them have to come together actually to take something which is clinically relevant and academically possible, but translationally it has still time to go. So that is where I am trying to work on, taking something which is made in the lab has to go reach to a level. So if you see our work for last 10 years at IIT Gandhinagar, we were able to make a molecule which is a drug-like molecule, and we could able to test the molecule. First we have to prove it, okay, whether this molecule will work for cancer or not. So for that you need to study something called specific pathways in cancer. Okay, so that pathway we have studied. Mechanistically we have proven that this is the molecule which works on this pathway. And now what we have to do is we have to take this molecule into cellular level, then animal level, so which will take a long time, but we have been able to have really good collaborations. So that's why we got this US patent. So we have proved that this molecule works in animal. So next stage will be that taking this molecule further into human trials and clinical trials.
That's an exciting way to hear, exciting news to hear, for our IIT Gandhinagar community. But in general, we wanted a sense of for the whole research community in the world, where are we in the terms of cancer research? How far are we, and how much we have traveled since the time we have started on cancer research? Since it's a concerning topic, it's still a major cause of death all over the world.
Yeah, so recently in our campus also we celebrated, right? We celebrated Cancer Awareness Program, and on February 4th was the World Cancer Day. So on that day, Health Ministry has published data which says 2,000 people per day actually lose their life because of cancer. So it's a huge research area, a huge thing to manage, because it's just every day it's killing people, right? But the only thing is that we are not able to make a proper cure. But there is a lot of awareness that is also missing in our country. That means like now there is a vaccine for cervical cancer, which is caused by a virus, which probably everybody has to take, all the girls have to take. And there are a lot of other things about cancer awareness which is very it doesn't reach common people. Okay, so everybody goes to hospital only when they are 4th stage or 3rd stage of cancer, which is a major reason that we are not able to cure people. If people go in their 1st or 2nd stage, so few types of cancer can be actually cured, which happens. So the place I work, Dana Farber Cancer Center, where you see people going out of the ward getting cured, okay, children getting cured. Okay, so there are a lot of specific types of cancer which has already proven to be curable, but that awareness is missing. So it's not that research is only important, it is awareness, and then how fast you reach a clinician is also very important. Okay, so research is definitely, as I mentioned, it's as far as with all the global institutions that we are not lagging behind anything.
That was really inspiring. Going further on that, research demands dedication. And seeing you as you are an accomplished researcher, so how do you manage to maintain a balance between work and life?
Oh yeah, you have to manage, right? So first thing is, I always say, my first book I have read, which is also given during my summer training, that's why summer programs are very important, which will change your life, by Professor KSV again. So by Feynman. Okay, so there's a book, Pleasure of Finding Things Out by Feynman. So where you have to, actually that's my life motto, and I want my lab also to be like that. If you can't be happy in what you're doing, you can never do it. So you can never see me, you can see me angry, but you can never see me sad. Okay, so I normally don't become sad. So that means, when I started my career as a researcher, as well as when I started in IIT Gandhinagar, I was very scared and worried, right? So I went to my professor, PhD supervisor, I asked him, I'm not sure whether I can take up the job of academician, so I probably will do better research when I go to industry. So I might not take in academia, I will go back to Boston. That's that conversation I had. But he said that otherwise you jump into something, you will not know how to swim. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, he said that it's an opportunity for you to figure out whether you can graduate people, you can do PhD, you can graduate PhD students, you can handle students. Okay, so I had no idea, because IISc didn't have any of this opportunity what I'm doing here. So I think that's where IIT Gandhinagar is so unique. So you are saying that I am an accomplished researcher, I'm not yet. Okay, I'm not accomplished researcher, I'm not accomplished administrator also. Both I'm still learning. But life, okay, and research for me is not very different. As well as there is no personal life, there is no professional life. For me, life is life. So some opportunities are given to me. I have to make sure how I can be happy at home and how I can be happy at my workplace. So if both I don't compromise. Okay? I don't compromise in my house. Okay? After removing my shoe and keeping my handbag, okay, in my desk, I will become a mother and a wife and a daughter at my home. So in that way, I don't compromise, okay, being with them, spending time with them. And also when I come to my office, I won't compromise being a researcher or a dean or a faculty. So this one, you have to take it up. I mean, as a person, I am very thankful to God that He gave me that maturity well ahead in life, so that I don't compromise. So it takes little extra mile to walk, but if you don't cross that extra mile, probably you will not be happy.
Yeah, so we have two takeaways. First one, do your summer research internship. That might be life-changing. And a book suggestion as well from ma'am. And also the kind of dedication she has shown in her life. We need to get inspiration from that. So on to the next question, ma'am. So the 2023 Nobel Prize for Chemistry was for the discovery and synthesis of quantum dots. If you would like to talk about something that, these quantum dots we know have some implications in the cancer research and cancer treatment as well. And also, what do you think would be the next field in which the Nobel Prize for Chemistry would be awarded?
So it's a very nice question. So I don't know. It's nice. It's a nice platform that I will also announce, because we are going to announce a contest for our students who will be the next Nobel laureate. Okay.
Oh.
So that's going to start. My chemistry students are going to really beat me up because I've disclosed this. We are going to announce it on the Science Day. So maybe this video also will come later on, I believe. So guessing a Nobel laureate is a very nice exercise. So I know one professor at MIT will always go on the day the chemistry Nobel Prize is announced. She'll go to her room and she'll lock her room and she'll start praying, it seems. It's a she, so maybe people will know later. But that's very inspiring because she wants the Nobel Prize, right? Like, how many of us will think that we can get Nobel Prize? So sometimes the first question I ask in my class, how many of you want to get Nobel Prize? Till now I have got only 2 students whose name and I have taken their signature, because eventually at least they have thought about it, right? So to be frankly speaking, that I want people from India to get Nobel Prize. Okay. So I don't know when will it happen, but it will surely happen, because I see all of you, right, very driven. The opportunities that are given to you is much more better than the opportunity 20 years before. Many of you, 40% of you go to United States and Europe to do your internship. So you are all very, you have given a lot of much better platform to do things. So it's not, I don't want to guess anybody for Nobel Prize for the coming year, but I'm sure that somebody who worked very hard and who's worth will definitely get it.
Yes, ma'am. So, like, onto the same question, what do you think, like, so the most number of people entering our institute, they are BTech or the engineering students, and how do you think they'll relate with the fundamental sciences in which the Nobel Prizes are mostly awarded, and how do you plan to involve more engineering students into the fundamental sciences? And a continued question to that would be, if a lab from IITGN is closest to a Nobel, what lab would it be?
Very tough question. There's so many. Actually, our institute, first question, how engineers? So already you have worked with me in my lab. So I've already started involving some engineers. So the engineering student actually have to reach out to fundamental scientists also. Should not think that they do boring chemistry or boring biology, because some problems in chemistry and biology can be easily tackled by an outsider, maybe an engineer. So the first JRF student of my lab is a mechanical engineer from IIT Gandhinagar, who is now a biomedical engineer. Okay, so I told him that you work in my lab for a month. Okay, his name is Mr. Gaurav Sharma. Gaurav is watching this. He's a mechanical engineering graduate. I told him, you work for 1 month. You prove that you can do biology or chemistry, then only you can continue. But he worked for, not only worked for 1 month, he even gave lot of inputs for making our own gel apparatus. Okay, so I was very impressed. And then he worked for 2.5 years. He went to Johns Hopkins. Okay, and he did his masters. He is right now in Washington. So it's only a few students who will know, okay, what they want to do, or they want to try something new. So anybody who wants to try something new in chemistry and biology, I encourage them to come and talk to me. But I also want to see that it's not so as I told you, summer training will change your life. For me, it's changed my life. So summer training should not be a picnic spot. Similarly, going to any lab should have some learning experience. Otherwise, the supervisor or the faculty advisor also will not be motivated, and the student also will not be motivated. So that is where we are lagging, that we are not able to attract more engineers to do basic science. But whoever engineering student, whichever engineering colleges they are from, if they work in a basic lab, I'm sure that both the parties will get inspired. That's a gap that we have to fill.
That's really interesting, ma'am. Hope to work under you in the near future.
Yeah, thank you.
You have been the DoSA, that is Dean of Student Affairs, for quite a time now. So, how do you manage to actively engage with the students while managing the administrative duties at the same time?
Yeah, that's the most difficult part. I think it's like I have only one daughter, but I have 2,600 kids here. So it's like I need to know everybody in my fingertips, Emmy at 117 who lives. Okay. So similarly, so it's a huge responsibility, right? It's I don't know who lives in Emmy at 117. What's the number just came to my mind. So edit it. So yeah, somebody is going to check who is living in 117. So if it's Abhishek, sorry Abhishek, it's not. I didn't know where you are living there. So. But I really love being with students. So from my college days, from my IISc days, or even MIT, I used to teach undergrad students. And I feel very, very nice. I love to have late night chai with them. So that's what I do it here. So the only way is that I meet them in the hostel area. When I was a warden, I think I had a lot of good bonding with the students. I meet them much more often than I meet them now. But this is the responsibility that I cannot make mistake. Okay, so sometimes I'm a little firmer in my decisions, but I think I really love all of you guys. So I don't mind working. So that's what drives me. So you like your family, right? You like what you do. So if you like your students, if you love your students, you don't find that you are tired, and managing that's what makes a big difference. You have to be happy in whatever you do, and I'm very happy what I'm doing.
Administrators like you, like we feel special to be students at IIT Gandhinagar. Like also evident from your answer, it's definitely not an easy task to manage such a big and diverse in all sorts of terms, a student body like us. So could you share a funny incident or case you have seen as with students like you have seen during your tenure as Dean of Student Affairs?
Yeah, so I think I'm
well, not only restricted to one, as many as you want to share.
No. I cannot share all of the secrets. Okay, so many of them will be lining up in front of my office otherwise. So, I mean, every incident is very funny. Even in some of the incidences, sorry to say this, is the most stricter committee that I handle, right, SAC. Even there, we sometimes laugh loudly because, students, by looking at them, we know that you are lying, right? But we will laugh, so we should not laugh. So similarly, like the hostel is the most. Okay, so during COVID, I think even though I was so upset that whatever has happening, whether people are gathering for birthday parties, I think Valentine's Day of 2021, I think had 500 cakes delivered. Okay, so we know how many delivered in the gate, right? How many Zomatos comes inside or something like that. So I just was very furious because I know that you're all going to celebrate birthdays. Okay, and the funniest thing is I was standing in one place where I know that people are going to jump out of the window. Okay. So 4 of them jumped out of the window of one room. Okay, one chimney, ground floor. 4 people jumped out the window because they were isolated, and I was standing there. And then they immediately jumped inside as well. Then I ran into the chimney. By the time I ran inside the chimney, and they all ran into different rooms, I couldn't even figure out. But by randomly we went and opened one. So it was just a wild guess, okay? And the person was like very heavily breathing. I was also heavily breathing. He said, "No, मैं तो yoga कर रहा हूँ." Like, this is the immediate answer. I said, in yoga you don't breathe this heavily. What yoga you're doing? Sirsasana. Let's do Sirsasana and breathe. So we were all, I mean, even though I was so upset, after coming there, that security bhaiya was laughing because I was running like a mad woman. And the students were running everywhere, right? So I don't know, at that point I was so unhappy, and then I said like, oh my god, my students are doing this, but so seeing that person was heavily breathing, and we were all wearing masks, right? So I was laughing inside, but I was trying to be very furious in my so similar incidents, and somebody, I think I got a call from security 3:30 a.m. that somebody got knocked down by a नील guy. And then I said, भैया मैं क्या करूँ? नहीं, उसको bleeding हो रहा है. मुझे सर कहाँ धक्का लगा? Then we came by the time he was taken to hospital, but I don't know whether to laugh at him or I was really laughing at him. Why did you go and take a Nilgai bacha? Right? He was trying to take it and go. So students are students, right? I want you to have the fullest, happiest life in our campus. So these are the things will happen. But sometimes when you have to be serious, in some cases, COVID was very serious, right? We were like very upset. We didn't know how to manage 600, 700 of you. We have also asked all the people to come back also. So though it was very funny, it was very scary for me also. I just don't want any student to fall severely sick. So that was the only prayers. So that's a time that I probably have learnt being more calmer and start smiling more.
Congratulations for achieving that job successfully, ma'am. Like IIT Gandhinagar was the only institute which did not ask a student to go back during the COVID times. So like that was a great administrative thing taken care by our institute. So on the same line, so ma'am, we started with a batch of 89 students, and now like there are more than 370 students entering the BTech program itself, and a similar increase in masters and PhD programs. So more research centers and more people in general on campus. So how do you think your challenges increase as Dean of Student Affairs in such a scenario?
I hope that I will not be Dean of Student when we have 4,000 students. But that's what our growth is, right? So we cannot compare Chandkeda campus now. We have to make our infrastructure better and better. We need to the main challenge is how to keep you guys engaged. Okay, how to keep you guys out of Netflix and Amazon Prime. Okay, that's right now I'm thinking only about it. How to bring all of you outside your room. It's not that everybody is doing it, right? But many of us are trying to be alone. Okay, so trying to have our own things to do. It's not that we are unhappy or something like that. I also want to spend time sitting under the tree, but I can't, right? If I sit under the tree, there'll be a round of people who will be like looking at me like, what's wrong with you? But it's okay to sit under the tree, but it's not okay to sit in your room and keep ordering food and sitting, because we are missing something called the big social life. Okay? So in a campus, in a IIC was the best campus I've ever lived. Okay? So even if it rains heavily, I'll take my bicycle and go entire campus, go and stop in the ice cream shop and have ice cream. That's my routine of the first rain. I don't know how many of you do it. Okay, so still in this campus also, when it rains, I'll take my bicycle, I'll go and round in the campus, I'll have the first ice cream. Okay, so it's just that how do you want to make use of living in a campus? Not everybody is blessed to live in a campus. So when you have a campus, you have fantastic sports facility, you have such a beautiful atmosphere and air, which is uncomparable high quality. I think we don't realize it unless otherwise we go to other places and compare ourselves. So for me, wherever in the world I go, when I come back to IIT Gandhinagar College, that's where I breathe fresh. Okay, it could be US, it could be Germany, it could be any place in the world. But when I enter the campus, that's where my full smile comes back. Okay? So I think that emotional bonding with the campus and with the community people have to be there with the students. That's my only worry, that the students should not, in this campus, nobody should be alone. In this campus, we are all together. So that's the thing, whether you are 4,000, whether you are becoming 10,000, you have to be here for each other. So that's what I learned being in a campus. So that's a culture I want to bring to the campus.
Yes, talking of the culture, as the number increase, how do you think we'll be able to maintain with our policy of IITGN's earlier policy of student first? So as these numbers increase, it will be difficult for institute
What do you mean by the used to be the policy?
Like how will we be able to keep up with the policy as the numbers increase? So if there were 20 students for a course, everyone can get a separate lab equipment or sort of a thing. But if there are say 150 students in a course, it will be difficult to do the same thing for that course, like getting the individual equipment for every student there.
But so the number has to increase. There's no way that number will be lowering. So if the number is lowering, that means we are not doing something correct. Okay. So when the number increases, our responsibility also will increase. As a student, your responsibility also will increase. But whatever may be the number, the policy of IITGN putting the student first in many decisions or anything that we want to do. As I always say that if the students are not sitting here, the teacher will not be standing here. So if you are not there, I am not here. Okay. So we are also interdependent on each other. If the teachers are not there, probably you are also not coming to this place, right? You are coming to this place because of the facilities that you get it, because of the faculty that you see, their profile and all of this. So we are all very interdependent. So even the number increases, okay, the policy is going to be the same because that's where we are built up, right? So we cannot go away from that policy. So even if you come after 20 years and get a Best Alumni Award from IIT Gandhinagar, so you will see the same policy.
That's so glad. That feels so happy to hear, ma'am. In continuation with that question, what is your vision for IIT Gandhinagar? 3 things you would like IIT Gandhinagar to achieve in next 5 years.
So 5 years is very less.
Or we can any time in future.
Before I retire, okay, I don't know when is it. Somewhere. Some of the faculty will definitely achieve something which is very, very important for the country as well as for global. Either it's for a cure for cancer, Alzheimer, you name it. But we should have a cure that is actually made in IIT Gandhinagar. I want to see the student body who will be the best alumni globally. And so we will. I'm also making, in student affairs, we also make a map, so where the students are. So I want to see the students actually cluttering around, not only all over the world, but coming back. All of you are coming back to India and then somewhere established in India and working for the country. That's what APJ told me when I was graduating. I met him in person, so he told that you have to come back to India and then work for the country. So I also dream that many of you will become CEOs, will become big scientists, will become big engineers, but you will do something for the country. Okay, being in the country. That's another dream that I want to see IIT Gandhinagar students doing it. And third definitely is that IIT Gandhinagar student getting the biggest prize, either could be Infosys Prize or Nobel Prize or Magsaysay Prize for being a great human being. So any of this big achievements that is globally, you will become a global citizen. So I want to see the students to become the global citizens.
That's really insightful, ma'am. We'll definitely try to stand up to your expectations. Shifting the focus to us, what's your vision for TEDxIIT Gandhinagar and which speaker would you like to see in our upcoming event?
Oh, so TEDx is again something very special to me because I think I was the first faculty advisor in 2017 or 16, I don't remember exactly. So I was pushing TEDx every year to do it. Okay, so first TEDx we did it, and after that there was a huge gap and we were not able to do it. So almost every time I ask the TEDx group whether we are doing it, we are doing. So I'm very, very happy that this time you guys have started very early, planned very, very early, and all the speakers list, tentative list I'm seeing, all of them were very, very good. So I want to have, so it's not only TEDx is just not a technical event, right? It should also give the visitors, either the guest speakers or the students who are coming from outside, should have an impression about the campus, about the student body, how you are all playing as a team. Okay. So another important thing I want is that start on time, okay, and finish on time. So
yes. So now on to the last but most exciting part of this podcast, the rapid fire round.
Oh, okay.
So no, only 6 questions, 3 from me, 3 from her.
Okay.
So are you ready, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. Who do you think trouble you the most? BTechs, PhDs or the master's students?
Students.
Any useless skill that you have acquired over time in your life?
I don't think so. I mean, skill is skill, right? That's why it's called skill.
Okay.
I don't think any skill I have gathered has never been useful or anything like that. From combing my hair to cooking, everything is important.
That's an interesting answer. And last one from my side, which element do you resemble the most within the periodic table?
Me?
Yes.
Selenium.
Oh, and any reasons for that?
That's my favorite element.
Oh.
That's where my PhD is from.
If not a chemist, then what?
Biologist.
Okay. Goals for the next inter-IIT sports meet as a badminton player?
Yeah. at least to go to semi-final.
That's the spirit. Scientific mystery you would love to solve.
Definitely DNA damage pathway in cancer.
Lastly, we have heard that you make pretty good dosas. Do we get to taste one?
Of course. So after TEDx, so we are planning to have something called DoSA with DoSA.
Oh.
So where, so the batter, everything will be made by me, and then I'll bring it and then I'll make the dosa. So all of you will get to know, get to eat.
We are really lucky on that part. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time, and we really got to know some cool things about you, your life, and your research journey, and some insights about your role as the Dean of Student Affairs. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Stay curious and keep following TEDx IIT Gandhinagar for more such fun podcasts.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. This is probably my one of the very casual interviews, and I'm really thankful to both of you guys and also the team for making me to speak nicely.
Thank you, ma'am.
And probably everybody now they can come to my office without getting very much worried about I am entering into DoSA's office.